Every year before winter, I make myself a bunch of fire starters that I carry with me in my bag when I'm out on the snow machine or anywhere. They're great in the fall, great in the spring, but winter they're awesome. Sometimes you have a hard time finding nice dry wood, depending where you are, how green it is or how dry it is. And to start a fire, you take one of these and you basically just throw a match on it and it goes. And it burns for 8 or 10 minutes quite well, like almost a torch-like burning. Once it gets going, you could actually boil water on them. All I'm doing is taking paraffin wax that you can buy anywhere for canning, and I melt it, and I have all these little cups. These are just little 1 ounce cups for things like ketchup or etc. that they give you in stores and everything, restaurants. And I take my Bosch planer and I just run it over a chunk of wood for about 2 minutes, fill the bag with sawdust, and basically put the sawdust in the cups, fill them with wax, put a little bit of sawdust back on top, and you're done. And so what I'll do here is I'll fill the cups up and then we'll pour some wax, and I'll show you how easy it is to make these and how great they work. So you can see I've filled all the cups just with sawdust. When you're using a planer, always go with the grain. If you go cross grain, you'll end up with big toothpick-like pieces that don't work well inside here. But going with the grain, it chops small pieces out of each strip. So basically, the pot I have has got the little pour spout on it, which helps. And all I'm doing is pouring it into the cup. Basically fill them up, and away you go. Simple as that. So sometimes, depending how it looks after I've filled it, if it's too flat, I'll sprinkle a little bit of sawdust on top because it makes lighting it really easy. But we'll let these cool off. Oh, almost done here. I'm just melting a little more wax to finish off the last few, and I'll fill enough to use up the rest of the wax. One thing I did notice, this is the first batch of cups that has been like this. They're great cups, but they're a little thinner. So it was starting to seep out from the cup. So I've doubled up on all the cups and it's working much better. So instead of just using 1 cup, I've got 2 that I'm pouring into and it's not soaking through. So anyway, just note to self for next time, because the last ones were obviously a little thicker and we're fine. Anyway, we'll pour this last bit of wax, fill the last few, and you can see I throw on just on top when they're wet. They stay wet for a long time, obviously. I'll throw on a few more sawdust chips, and they soak up and harden on top, and literally you just drop a match on it and away they go. They go quite well. So basically done making them, and this should be good for me for the winter season. So 1 box of paraffin wax, which is, well, they call it Parawax, was $11.99 a box. So I used 1 box and 1 piece from another box, so about a box and a quarter, and it's made me 43. So that's pretty good. That's not exactly very expensive. So if you don't have a planer, the planer works really good to make nice fine wood chips, and that's why I use it. But your chainsaw, anything that you can just cut with, and just make sure you're cutting dry wood and pick up the chips, and away you go. So now we'll show you how great these things light and burn. And I just don't have a match in here, so we'll just show you, though it'll light very easily. I just touch it and away it goes. Now I'm going to time this and I'll let you know how long it actually burns. But you can see how quickly that flame comes up, and the pieces of sawdust function as a wick to the wax when you drop them in, and it soaks it all up. But anyway, I'll time this and I'll make a couple of clips of it as it's still going. So it's only about 1.5 minutes so far, but I wanted to show you just how big that flame is. So I use these, it's the first thing I put on the ground, and I pile my wood around it and throw a match in, and you walk away and forget about it. It'll burn so long, it'll just dry out any wood and start your fire. No, oil, gas, or diesel or anything on there. No searching for kindling, just away it goes. So again, we'll show you time-wise how long this goes, but you can have a little stand, or if you just have a couple of pieces of wood and you put that on the ground, you can boil water, you can cook things just on this, and they go for a very long time, and that's why they're such great fire starters. You can use these in your wood stove, you can use them in your sauna. Again, out in the bush to start a fire under any conditions, even if it's wet, they're fantastic. But we'll a quick check in here after as it keeps going and show you the time. Okay, so now we are approaching 6 minutes. And as you can see, there is lots left to burn. Another quick check-in. We're about 10.5 minutes and still going strong. So we're at 15 minutes now. It's still burning, but there's not much left. It started to slow down around 13.5 minutes, so I'm guessing the wax is probably all used up. So I packed these up in Ziploc bags. I put 6 or 7 in a bag. I have a bag under the seat of each of my snow machines. I have a bag in my cooler bag that I take with me every day or all the time when I'm out. It has everything I need for emergencies. And I basically keep them everywhere I might think I need them. And once you get used to using these to light fires, you'll never want to go back. And they're a great safety item. So works out to about 25 cents a piece when you figure out what I spent on the wax. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. And if you appreciate it, like the video and subscribe. Thanks.